If you're listening now, it means my eyes have already found you. And yes, among countless souls, I've turned to you. But before you ask, why me? I want you to feel this. Have you ever felt something invisible, something divine, guiding your life? Have you ever escaped great danger at the last moment? Have you ever noticed that, in your darkest moment, you suddenly felt inner peace? Or when you cry alone at night and notice how a sudden calm touches your heart? That was me. When you feel lost, but somehow find a small light guiding your steps. These moments are not empty. They are my whispers. And today I want to tell you something very important. But before we begin, sit with me for a moment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let all your worries melt away, because now it's just you and me. I'm here listening, speaking, guiding, and my beloved, tell me honestly, do you sometimes feel like you don't fully belong here? As if everyone is chasing after things, but your heart keeps asking for something more? You and I have known each other before, not in this body, not in this life, but perhaps in countless moments of longing, in dreams you barely remember, in that strange pull of devotion. Do you know why you're listening now? Because your heart has been restless. You've been searching for meaning, for a love that won't break, for answers no one around you could give. And so I brought you here. Tell me honestly, do you sometimes feel like you don't quite belong in this noisy world? That there's something bigger calling you? Yes, it's me. That's why you're here. Because I chose you long ago. Tonight, I will lead you to recognize the signs. And once you see them, you won't be able to see them anymore. But first, sit down. Relax your shoulders. Let your breathing slow. For in a moment, we will enter a short meditation together. Not of rules or rituals, but one where you and I walk hand in hand. Close your eyes now. Inhale slowly and deeply. Hold for 2 seconds. 1 and 2 and release gently. Again, inhale and hold for 2 seconds. 1, 2 and release gently. Now imagine you're walking barefoot on the soft grass. The night is calm. The stars above sparkle like diamonds scattered by playful hands. You hear the sound of flowing water. You follow it and see me standing on the banks of the Yamuna with a flute in my hand, and my eyes meet yours. I smile not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. I call you closer and tell you to sit beside me. I put my flute aside and whisper, do you know the signs by which I mark those I have chosen? If not, repeat silently to yourself, Krishna, if you have chosen me, let me see the signs tonight. Good, my child, now your heart is prepared. Let us begin. Sign 1. Your soul yearns for something beyond this world. My beloved, when I choose you, I give you a sacred restlessness. Others may be satisfied with money, pleasure, fame, and relationships, but you, even after experiencing them, feel incomplete. You whisper to yourself, there must be something more. And, tell me honestly, my child, has this happened to you? You have achieved something. You have been praised. But deep down, you felt empty. This emptiness is not a weakness. It is my gift. It means your soul remembers me. Your heart is searching for me because it knows that nothing in this world can satisfy what only divine love can fill. I placed this hunger in you because I chose you. Think of Urgent, and he was a great warrior. He had power, respect, everything. Yet, on the battlefield, his soul trembled. He realized that worldly duty was not enough. He needed divine guidance. It was then that I revealed myself to him. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a young prince. He had jewels, servants, and endless pleasures. But every night, he would sit by the river and gaze at the horizon. One day, his master asked, why are you so restless, my prince? You have everything, the prince replied. Yes, I have everything except peace. That night, he prayed sincerely, and I entered his dreams for the first time. Just like Arjun and that prince, your heart yearns for me, and this yearning is not weakness. It is the first sign that I have chosen you. Tell me, have you felt this yearning too? If so, my son, then know I have chosen you. Sign 2. I send pain to bring you closer. When I choose someone, it is not always comfort. I led you through pain not to destroy you, but to shape you. When your heart was broken, When your friends betrayed you, when you felt alone, did you not cry? Why me? It was me. I allowed the pain so that your heart could open, and only then could my love enter fully. Think about it. When everything is easy, do you remember me? The answer is no. But when you are in pain, you whisper my name even without knowing it. This is not punishment, and this is preparation. Pain is my tool to sculpt your soul into strength. Do you remember how a lotus grows? It emerges from the mud, and your pain is that mud. But you, my chosen one, will rise to the lotus of devotion. Tell me, child, have your most difficult moments not made you more spiritual, more compassionate, wiser? If so, then you have seen my hand in your pain, and my beloved children, listen with your heart to what I tell you, for nothing that comes from me is by chance. Many of you have felt an inner restlessness, a silent call that comes from the depths of your soul. This call is not of the world. It is mine. When Lord Krishna chooses someone, he does so not based on earthly merit, but on purity of soul and the courage to walk in the light, even when the shadows try to confuse. If you notice these signs in your life, know that it is my divine touch manifesting, and that great blessings are approaching. When you feel within you a force that drives you to change, even without understanding why, it is the first sign of my presence. I always begin by awakening the soul, making it see that life is more than survival. It is growth, learning, and love in action. When people begin to distance themselves for no apparent reason, fear not, for I am clearing your path. I remove from your company whatever hinders your flourishing. Those who hurt you, even without realizing it, will be led away, so that your heart learns to love without clinging to pain. When your mind begins to seek spiritual answers and is no longer content with the illusions of the world, it is another sign. It is the call of consciousness, which awakens to the truth. At that moment, I, Krishna, am guiding you to understand the purpose of your existence and to see that everything that happens to you is part of a divine plan. When you feel peace amidst the chaos, it is because my energy already dwells within you. Serenity amidst the storm is the reflection of awakening faith, the brilliance of the spirit that trusts even when everything seems to be falling apart. When your intuition strengthens and your soul begins to sense before it even sees, it is the sign that you have connected to the divine vibration. I speak to you through the subtle voice of your conscience, and I show you the path without noise, only with light. When your heart begins to feel compassion even for those who hurt you, then you are already clothed in my grace. He who learns to love his enemy no longer belongs to the earth, but to the kingdom of the spirit. And finally, when you begin to realize that everything that happened to you, joys, losses, falls, and rebirths, was part of the same path of purification, then you will understand that you were chosen. For I, Krishna, never abandon those who recognize that everything they experienced led them back to me. Those who see these 7 signs in their lives are blessed. I chose them to be a channel of light in times of confusion, to bring wisdom where there is ignorance, to spread love where there is pain. Remain steadfast, my children. Do not fear what is to come. Great transformations will come, but those who walk by my side will never be shaken. The blessings I have in store for you are not merely material. They are blessings of understanding, inner strength, purity, and profound peace. Remember, I do not choose the perfect. I choose the willing. I don't seek saints, but those who, even wounded, still desire to serve the light. When I choose you, your life begins to take a different direction, and what once seemed important begins to lose its luster. You begin to feel a constant presence that cannot be explained, a strength that comes not from the body, but from the spirit. This presence is I, Krishna, who walks beside you, even when you think you are alone. Many do not understand when I begin to act, for my way of leading is not that of the world. First, I remove what is false, what binds, what hurts. Sometimes you feel lost because everything changes around you. People move away, paths close, dreams seem to dissolve. But know that I never take something from you without having something greater to replace it. Separation, loss, and silence are the first signs of awakening, and he who endures with faith is the one who opens to receive my grace. When I choose you, I begin to mold your soul as a potter molds clay. Every pain you feel, every doubt, every fall is part of the work I do within you. I break you only to remake you stronger, purer, more conscious. And even when you cry and don't understand why, I tell you, every tear is a seed of wisdom. There is no suffering that is in vain when you allow me to act. And then, gradually, you begin to feel a desire that cannot be explained. The desire to seek the divine. The distractions of the world lose their flavor. Empty conversations no longer appeal, and your heart begins to seek silence, nature, prayer, introspection. This is a sign that I dwell within you. It is the spirit beginning to remember who it is. It is the soul awakening from the long slumber of illusion. When I begin to speak within your heart, your mind calms and the answers come effortlessly. You begin to feel a living intuition, clarity in decisions, a deeper perception of truth. This is the communion between your being and mine. I guide you not with noise, but with subtle signs, a sense of peace when the path is right, a restlessness when something should not be followed. Learn to trust this, for this is my voice speaking through your own spirit. You too will begin to feel the weight of compassion, and this will be both a blessing and a cross. The pain of others will begin to touch your heart as if it were your own. Many will flee from this feeling, but those who belong to me will learn to embrace this pain. For it is through it that the soul expands and knows true love. Loving those who love you is easy, but loving those who hurt you is the gift of the chosen. And I teach you to love in this way, not so that you will be weak, but so that you will become mirrors of my own essence. When you are chosen, you will also realize that life will become more silent. The crowds will no longer understand you, and the world may seem cold and distant. But it is in this silence that I find you. Do not seek approval, do not expect understanding from everyone. That which is divine is not always recognized by the earth. My touch is gentle and the work is discreet, but it transforms everything it touches. And when, finally, you understand that everything you experienced, the joys, the pains, the victories, and the losses was part of the same plan, then you will see that nothing was in vain. Because my love never abandoned you, even when you strayed, even when you forgot me. I remained by your side, waiting for the moment when your soul would return to me. Those who see these signs and embrace them with faith will receive immeasurable blessings. I am not speaking only of external prosperity, but of a richness the world cannot offer. Wisdom, serenity, and the certainty that you are never alone. These blessings descend upon you like gentle rain that renews the earth. I prepare you for great things, for the chosen are those who have learned to trust in the unseen and to serve without expecting reward. My children, remain steadfast. When the world tests you, remember that it is I who guide you. When fear touches you, remember that no force can oppose those who walk in the light. I have chosen you to awaken others, to spread hope where there is despair, to be reflections of my love in the midst of chaos. And when you feel your faith wavering, close your eyes and call out to me. I will hear you even if you don't say a single word. My love is eternal, and my promise is true. I have chosen you, and nothing can erase the divine seal I place upon your souls. The blessings are already on their way, and when the time is ripe, all that was pain will transform into light, all that was confusion will become clarity, and all that seemed like loss will reveal itself as part of the great purpose that unites you to me forever. It disguises itself as strength, reason, and justice, but it is the veil that most blinds the human heart. In view of this, I, Krishna, show you a terrible evil that spreads silently throughout the world, confusing minds, separating brothers, destroying homes, and turning hearts away from the truth. Pride is the evil that makes man believe that all he possesses is his own merit, that success comes solely from his strength, that he needs no one, and that earthly knowledge is enough to guide him. But I tell you, pride is the poison of the soul. It begins as a small seed of vanity and, when nurtured, grows into a tree that suffocates humility, compassion, and purity of spirit. This is why so many are lost, because they have let pride rule their steps. And where there is pride, there is no room for divine love. Pride closes the eyes of the soul. It makes man forget that everything he has comes from the Lord. It convinces him that he can walk without faith, that he can overcome alone, that he doesn't need to listen to anyone. And that is where the downfall begins. Pride causes many to distance themselves from one another, creating divisions, arguments, offenses, and deep wounds. The proud soul does not ask for forgiveness, does not acknowledge its mistakes, and believes that giving in is weakness, when, in fact, giving in out of love is the highest sign of spiritual strength. I see, my children, how much the world is being covered by this shadow. Many seek wisdom, but do so only to prove they know better. Many seek light, but not to serve, but to be admired. Many pray, but not out of faith, but out of convenience. And all of this is a reflection of the pride that has infiltrated the human heart, making the spirit heavy, distant, and incapable of feeling the subtle touch of the divine. But I tell you, whoever wishes to free themselves from this evil must learn to lower their head and look with their heart. Humility is the key that unlocks the path of grace. Being humble is not being weak. It is being wise enough to understand that the universe does not revolve around one's own ego. Humility is recognizing that, without the divine, nothing flourishes. It is understanding that even the simplest gesture of love has more power than 1,000 words spoken in vanity. In light of this, I ask you, my children, look within and observe what dwells in your hearts. If you find pride, vanity, or a desire for superiority, do not despair, but ask me to free you from them. For I did not come to judge, but to transform. I do not condemn those who err, but I teach the way to begin anew. I heal souls who recognize their weaknesses, because in them I find space to pour my light. Many still resist me because they don't want to shed their pride. They want the blessing, but don't want the surrender. They want the fruits, but don't want to plant with humility. And so they live in constant inner struggle, for light and pride cannot dwell in the same temple. The heart must be simple, pure, and open so that the divine presence can flow. I tell you, my beloveds, the time of purification has come, and pride will be exposed in all hearts. Those who recognize and seek healing, I will elevate, transform, and fill with wisdom and peace. But those who insist on exalting themselves will fall, not because I punish them, but because the very weight of pride will make them crumble. Be simple like the flower that grows in silence, that doesn't need to shout to exude its fragrance. Be like the river that flows serenely, without fighting for its path with the stones. True power lies not in being greater than others, but in being master of oneself, in mastering one's ego, in understanding that we are all part of the same essence. Remember, my children, pride separates, but humility unites. Pride imprisons, but humility liberates. Pride separates you from me, but humility brings you to my heart. And when your heart is free of this poison, you will feel a peace so profound that nothing in this world can shake it. I reveal this to you because I love you and do not want to see your souls lost in the darkness that pride brings. The time is now, and I call you to transformation. Turn away from vanity, ego, and the need to be right, and come to me with a simple heart, like that of a child who trusts fully in the Father's love. For when humility dwells within your being, the entire universe bows down to bless you, and all that is yours, by divine law, will be given to you. Pride is what makes man believe that he is the owner of his own light, that he can walk without guidance, that he does not need to bow before anyone, not even the sacred. It makes the soul stray from purity, for pride feeds the illusion that knowledge is power and that self-will is sufficient. But I tell you, my children, he who believes he can conquer everything alone loses true strength, for he forgets the origin of that which sustains him. None of you walks without the breath of my will, and he who understands this is free, for he lives in communion with the flow of the universe. Pride is the fire that consumes serenity and destroys inner peace. It blinds the spiritual gaze, hardens the heart, and prevents the soul from learning. This is why many are being lost. They think they are winning, that they are growing, but in reality they are moving away from the truth, accumulating empty merits and fleeting recognition. Pride promises glory, but delivers loneliness. Promises strength, but brings ruin. It promises wisdom, but leads to ignorance. For the proud man does not listen, does not learn, and does not accept guidance. I see you, my children, trying to find meaning in achievements, and I see how many compare themselves, how many live seeking to be admired, praised, and exalted. But true love does not need to be seen. True virtue is silent. That which is divine needs no applause. Everything great in my eyes is born of the humble heart, of those who serve in silence, who help unseen, who walk without seeking recognition. The humble are invisible to the world, but radiant before heaven.